Hello, welcome to ViveCrypto. Today we're gonna have a special episode because we're gonna talk about stocks.
Yeah, Facebook got absolutely crushed today after the bell was down over $150 billion of market cap, or about 20% of its market cap was erased. This is on revenue growth warning and European user decline. Now, there's a lot of information coming out, and obviously, with such a big company, there's a lot of topics to talk about. So,
Yeah.
let's first talk about the present, then get into the future of this company.
Okay.
Presently, where we are right now, what do you feel about Facebook? What are your takes on all of this?
My takes. Okay. First of all, Facebook had its biggest single day drop today. Its previous biggest drop was a 12% fallback in July 2012, right after it went public. So it had been doing good until this point, and now it just had its worst day ever.
Yeah.
Um, for the reasons you just mentioned.
Yes. This 6 year bull run that it's on. This is actually pretty coincidental with what the stock market is on, a multiple year bull run. The stock market should be getting worried right now. Not only did Facebook miss, but also Netflix did last week. These are two prime companies that have growth as of recently. Facebook has a 30 plus PE ratio company. Okay. So based off of that, if you aren't going to get your revenues back for 30 years, you have to be anticipating growth. There was anticipated growth. There is still some growth, but 1.5% or whatever that number is not a sexy growth number. That's not growth as people like to talk about it. I'm not buying this today anymore. Are you buying this bounce right now?
Right now, okay. Well, considering it just went down 20% in one day, it's like a ton. I would expect it to keep going lower, in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
I will wait and see if it can hold 150, and then I will consider buying it. I don't think Facebook is dying anytime soon, and so yeah.
As presently constructed, you feel you can buy this bounce. Yeah, I'm on the opposite side. I see Facebook as starting to have competition going forward. Unless basically right now you're Google, you're facing competition.
Yeah.
And I really hate the model for Facebook in which everything's got to be built off of ads. Okay. Not only does that really make the user experience bad, the more ads you add, the worse the user is going to enjoy their experience. No one likes pop-ups.
No.
But I also hate the fact that Facebook is pushing their advertising so hard that actually someone like me, who was just publicly free advertising within their rules, got like a 1 week ban, and basically it almost seemed like it was gearing me into, well, why don't you just pay for that advertising? It's frustrating, again, not even to the user experience, but the advertiser experience.
Yeah.
So that's my take. Is there anything else you'd like to say on Facebook presently?
I got tons to say about Facebook.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
No.
Floor is yours.
Yeah, okay. Honestly, you all know, like, one of the biggest problems with Facebook right now is the data privacy. That's already been talked about a lot, but basically it's that just your data's not safe, and they can just pretty much know everything.
And they're selling that to third parties, to profit off of it, and that's obviously not something that the user experience is enjoying.
No one likes that. No one likes stealing their data.
And that's actually part of the profit problem going forward, is they have so much privacy, security, all this sort of stuff, that they're forced to hire a lot of programmers. They're hiring, you said 10,000 programmers?
Yeah, they say they want to hire 10,000 to the end of this year to work.
Just to this year, they're going to add another 10,000. So that's that's all.
They really want to focus on this. They really want to work on the privacy. Actually, Zuckerberg said that the challenges included regaining public trust and increasing the number of people joining Facebook and the time spent on the platform.
So those are some lofty goals, short term, right? I mean, regaining people's trust. I mean, that's not something that normally happens instantaneously.
No, that's gonna take
And
a while.
to increase people's time on the platform, you have to increase their experience.
Yeah.
They're going to add more ads. If that's the case, how do they add more hours to the platform? Like, what move would you see potentially that would make that possible?
Yeah, well, definitely, first of all, to regain the public trust, that's gonna be their biggest challenge.
That's going to be a long fought battle. You don't think that's happening short term?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was just I want clarification.
No, I think that's a really hard thing. But I mean, to increase the number of people joining, they should just offer something new, because at least in a time, I mean, I used to use Facebook, it's been kind of the same.
Pretty much the same. So you think that just adding one new feature to the platform could potentially sway it? Like, I'm just going to throw out a hypothetical here. I mentioned to you before, creating some content.
Yeah.
But what about even just streaming? Like, getting more into streaming sports and stuff like that. Things that people kind of connect to already. So, let's say, there's a soccer game, there's a football game, there's a basketball game on, and me and my friends are watching it, and we're commenting in the same box because we're watching it, and we're kind of paying a little bit.
Like, connect people.
Yeah.
And that's obviously, like, the goal of Facebook, to connect people all over the world. So, I think they could definitely try to do something new that could bring in more people. Also, they could just solve some problems they have right now. For example, another big one is misinformation. There's a lot of fake news out there, and that's also bad for them, because once people realize that this is a problem, and that sometimes they read the news, they don't know the source, they don't know if it's true, they just stop trusting
any source, anything coming out.
The platform. So they just go somewhere else to get their news instead of reading them on Facebook. So that obviously decreases the time spent on the platform.
Yeah.
Because you see something that's like, I don't trust this anymore, so I'm not gonna spend my time reading news here, because
there's better sources out there, more trustworthy.
And like Mark just said that he wanted to increase the time on the platform, so they should just definitely try to fix this too, because I think it's a reason that people are spending less time.
Is the fake news?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk futuristically.
All right.
Facebook, 5 years. Even if you want to go further, go right ahead. But 5 years out. 5 years out is a good terminology. Where do you see Facebook in 5 years?
In 5 years. Okay. I still see Facebook around. Like I said, I don't think it's dying anytime soon. But considering they really haven't upgraded like the platform or done anything, added anything new.
Yes.
I wouldn't say it's gonna be growing. I would just say it's gonna still be around. I think people are already like familiar with the platform, and I think it's pretty easy to use, so it's just like convenient.
Simplicity does rule over a long period of time.
I think it's convenient for people to stay, because they already have all of their friends in
photos,
there, or I don't know,
exactly.
coworkers, like for years. So I think it's just like I think it's hard.
It's a convenience factor.
Yeah, I think it's hard for like a new platform like Facebook to come in and like steal everyone
very quickly.
But I also don't see right now where they're at. I don't see how they would be growing
actual people.
Yeah.
I mean, they can grow revenues, obviously. Without growing users, they just need to figure new ways to monetize.
Yeah.
Same platform. Yeah. I look at Facebook, and a lot of people throw the word fad out for, like, companies, right? And Facebook's been too long. It's not a fad. It's generational. It's going to be something that it's gonna last our generation,
Uh-huh.
but by the next generation, by age of kids that are 5, 10 years old, start maturing into teenagers plus,
Yeah.
they're gonna look at Facebook as something that we use and kind of older people used, and there is going to, in my opinion, be something new, hip, popular for them that maybe is out there already, maybe isn't, maybe if it's just even a spur off of Facebook, but I don't think Facebook platform will be the new trendy one. Because of that, I've been sidelined on Facebook, and I'm not gonna jump back in until I see a significant drop, something to where I can get revenues to valuation of the company way closer, something maybe where the company is in the 200 billion valuation to the revenue is 50 billion plus. I look at all the events that happened today, and I just recognize the continued reason to own Microsoft, which is diversified, which is what Facebook's turbulence is all about. It's all about this one platform. Microsoft is so diversified. Something bad could come in news-wise from Xbox. It's not really going to kill the company. Maybe good Bing numbers come in, but something happens platform related, and it kind of offsets. And I like that. And I also look at something like LinkedIn, and I recognize that it's a longer term play because everyone has to grow up, everyone works, and it's a more business oriented system. And that's something that you Facebook and users are going to kind of outgrow, and every trendy thing can outgrow, but everyone's going to adulthood together at some point, and I think that makes LinkedIn a great bet long term. And yes, I also just want to put, Facebook hasn't changed very much, so I don't expect them to change much. So if you were to make I guess a guess, right? You know, where Facebook is in 5 years. Right now we're looking at a stock price of 180 in the corner. Who knows directly where we're opening? Where do you see Facebook in 5 years price wise?
Price wise?
Yes.
So we're at right now
180.
Around 180. I mean, I would think. I mean, I don't want to say it'll be around the same. I think it's gonna be more, but I don't think it's gonna like shoot.
It's not gonna be a significantly higher gain.
Yeah, because like I said, I don't think it's gonna really.
And I can see that story in a really weird way. The way that I see Facebook being 180 or higher is actually Facebook takes a couple steps back and then takes a couple steps forward. And again, this kind of happened with Microsoft back in the day, where they were too heavily leveraged on just the platform. Everything was when is the next Windows update? That was a big deal. And now it's not such the big deal because they have other fields. And I hope that Facebook is going to figure out ways to monetize other fields. If they do, and they continue to be the platform, they will be higher, but I don't expect them to go any other way. Mark Zuckerberg seems pretty hell-bent on making this his task and job forever. He doesn't seem like he's diversifying his life tasks very much. So I feel like we're going to look at down the line, and we're going to look at a platform that's still really large, that still makes a lot of money, doesn't really have growth, very stagnated, one product only. And the turbulence is going to be very high over the next couple of years because good news with revenues, good profit quarter, bad profit quarter is just really going to sway this stock.
Okay.
Yeah. So, any other information you want to drop?
No.
Yeah,
I would just say if you want to share something, like your take on this, just go right ahead and leave a comment.
Yeah, and enjoy the video. Bye.
Yeah, thank you.